Hi there, it's Myriam with Pocketnow, and this here is the long-awaited OnePlus 2. Yes, the successor to last year's OnePlus 1, and it is a beautiful phone. So let me walk you quickly through some of the new features and what really differentiates this phone from the competition. As you can see, it's got a gorgeous 5.5-inch IPS panel, but it is only 1080p, and yes, that is probably for the price point, which is $389 for this 64 gigabyte model. So that's a pretty impressive price point considering some of the features that I'll be walking you through in a second. So 5.5 inch 1080p full HD display. No quad HD here, but it's a gorgeous display, very, very bright outside, and it has great viewing angles, looks really quite beautiful, as you can see here. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that there is, as you can see, a bunch of new features like this fingerprint scanner down here, which I've set up and is actually faster and more accurate than any other fingerprint scanner I've used. And I've used the one on the iPhone and the one on the Galaxy S6. And it's just, you know, hold it down like that and it does its job. Really, really well done. There's a 5 megapixel camera here in the top corner with the earpiece on top. And you have the choice of capacitive buttons. As you can see, you can reconfigure to either be the back button on one side and the recent apps on the other side, or vice versa. Or you can go full software and have on-screen buttons a la Nexus if you prefer. So that's something you can configure and do whatever you want with, as you could on the old OnePlus 1. Now, inside there's a Snapdragon 810. It's the next generation of Snapdragon. It has the improved power management, so it's a bit better on battery and a bit better in terms of heat generation. And so that's a big improvement. It comes together with 4 gigs of RAM. And now, as you can see here in the back, is a new camera. It's a 13 megapixel camera with laser autofocus. You can see the laser sensor right below the camera lens, and a dual LED flash. This is still only 13 megapixels, but it's a really big improvement in performance. It actually has a new OmniVision sensor, and I've taken a few pictures and I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing a little disappointing about this camera right now is that the software doesn't even live up to the competition. There is no manual controls or RAW support, and while you can download third-party cameras, you don't get up to 30-second manual shutter speed like you get on the G4, for example, out of the box with this phone. They say it's coming for sure. RAW is coming soon, so keep that in mind. On the bottom here, you'll find a kind of a new feature, and that's USB Type-C with a mono speaker and a microphone port. And that is a really big deal. Type-C is going to really change things and really add functionality to phones and give the ability to plug in all kinds of interesting accessories. And of course, it's a bi-directional connector, which is great. Here's the power lock key, the volume rocker, as you can see. And then on top here, you've got the standard headphone jack and a secondary mic. And then here, this is a really awesome addition. This slider here lets you slide between, let me show you on the screen as I slide it. So you start with no alerts, priority only, and then all notifications. So this is the equivalent of the setting on a Nexus in the volume slider. It's really, really cool. I love this feature. I think it's a great idea to have implemented this. And there you go. And as you can see, all the way around is a beautiful metal band that is real metal, machined metal this year. None of this fake chrome plastic like we had in the back in the old phone last year. Now, there is no SD card slot on this phone. It's got a dual SIM setup. If I peel this cover off, you can get to the SIM cards, but you cannot get to the battery or to the SD card slot because there's no SD card slot. So this is what it looks like here. You've got this little drawer you can slide out, and this is where the SIMs live. and there's no other things you can change. And no, these pins are not for wireless charging. There is no Qi wireless charging support despite these pins, so keep that in mind. This is I think a major omission. Another thing we're mentioning is that the battery is 3,300 milliamp hour, which should be sufficient despite the lack of wireless charging. So far I've used the phone quite a bit, and the battery doesn't seem to be draining too fast, so everything's cool on that front. So those are the limitations: no micro SD, no removable battery, no Qi charging, and just a 1080p display. But everything else about this phone is really flagship worthy and really, really awesome. You've got their Oxygen OS here, which is, you know, typical of what we've seen on OnePlus One since they dumped Cyanogen. And you know, here it gives you an idea what this looks like in terms of performance. It's really just a standard, very standard Android experience. There's really nothing new here and unusual. So anyway, that's a quick look at the OnePlus 2, the newest flagship phone from the OnePlus folks, and it's a beautiful phone. And for the money, $389 for 64 gigabyte, it's a really, really good deal. I just really hope now that they can make the camera software as good as what the hardware can do, and yeah, we'll be in business. Definitely a worthy contender if you're looking for an unlocked high-end phone at a reasonable price. This is Myriam for Pocketnow, and stay tuned for more coverage from the OnePlus 2 event. Cheers.